everyone, J-Rod Plays here, just making a follow-up video to the video that I posted the other day about the sword that I use for the first encounter of the stills or traverse the abyss, and the reason why I use that over Eager Edge, and the difference between them, because with Eager Edge, for example, you're going to get a nice initial boost, but you have that small lockout period. And of course, it's even longer if you don't have Enhanced Eager Edge. However, with the Nadir focus trait that comes on the GEODETIC HSM, you're going to end up getting a good amount of lunge, more than a normal sword lunge, and less than an Eager Edge. And it's right in the middle. And of course, as you're doing it over and over again, it's going to pick up to a certain point where you cover a nice set of grounds. And so you'll see here that I'm in the stills, and I'm in the first encounter traversing the abyss. I'm going to get the secret chest. And right now I'm already at Weight of Darkness times 6, and I'm still able to pretty much move as if I had no Weight of Darkness, because every time I hop up and use the sword, it's going to take me a nice lunge distance. Again, not as far as an Eager Edge, but also not as unreliable or as unpredictable as an Eager Edge. Earlier in the clip you saw where I ended up tracking onto a thrall, and it was only a short distance. It wasn't like tracking onto a thrall that was already under a swinging pendulum way off to my right. And so from there, it just took me a few seconds to get over to that secret chest and then start to make my way back to the team. And so that's the reason why the trait is so important, because you can get back to people who have died in the back behind you. You can get ahead, and you can scout ahead. As you can see, I'm scouting ahead for the podium right now, and it is a podium, the place where you preserve. People call it a preserve, which is fine, but it's literally in the text on the screen that it's a podium. And so I get over to the podium, I let everybody know, hey, this is where the podium's at. Come over here. If I'm on Warlock, I'll drop a rift so it's all lit up. You know, if I'm on Titan, I may put up a barrier so people can see where it's at. It's really useful. Again, the sword will let you catch up to your team. It'll let you run ahead of your team to scout for the podiums. And it'll do that again with this consistency that you can always count on. It's very unpredictable with Eager Edge if you're going to get through or underneath the pendulums on the first encounter, or if you're going to end up going like 2 feet because you tracked onto something that is just off to the side of you. With this, as long as you're turned in an appropriate direction, the sword tracking is not as strong. It's not going to send you so far away. It's only going to track onto something that you can see, and that's something that you can't usually. And so it's very controllable, and the only downside to this sword is just the ammo. Because of the ease of use of the sword, you find yourself spamming the sword a lot instead of just walking around, and you only need to use the sword whenever you're either scouting ahead or going back to catch up, because if everybody's around you, then you're kind of bunched up. So just use it to get past the obstacles that are in your way, and use it sometimes maybe to kill like a yellow bar here or there. For the most part, I was using my other weapons for that. But with the sword, again, you can keep up with Eager Edge people, you can keep up with hunters using their grapple, unless they're using the Navigator Catalyst grapple portion, which at one point you'll end up running out of ammo and they'll have pretty much infinite grapples, so there you won't be able to keep up. Otherwise though, again, you can see that this is the main portion of the encounter. You find the podium, you can move to the next one, you can come back, you can save people. Overall, it's my preferred way to travel in the Abyss over the Eager Edge sword, which is kind of funny because of how hard we grinded for these Eager Edge swords with the enhanced perks on them, and here we are with just a regular legendary with a nice origin trait that just completely replaced all the effort that we had with the Eager Edge, but does so in a way that's nice and controllable, and it's a very well done perk. Like, I'm not complaining that the thing exists, it's just funny how they realize that there's this room for this middle ground between zooming at almost uncontrollable speeds at times, depending on if the sword tracking is terrible, and being able to have this nice traversal pattern where you know where you're going to land, where you can kind of guess where you're going to be at much easier, and not have to worry so hard about the unpredictable. And so that's just a follow-up video. Again, somebody in the comments is like, hey, it'd be nice to have some footage to see what this looks like, so that way they can kind of get an idea of how the sword's going to benefit them. I hope that you guys were able to grab this sword off of Banshee the last few days. And if you didn't happen to get it the last few days, just know that I just checked Banshee, and he does still have the GEODETIC HSM. He's got the same Tireless Blade 1-for-all roll, so hop in there and pick that up. You'll see this video on Wednesday, and the reset would have already happened yesterday, Tuesday, and so hopefully again that you guys were able to grab this sword, and this will make your encounters in the Abyss, in the stills, much easier going forward. You can tell and spread the news to other LFGs and let them know, hey, this is the way to go. If you have this sword, pull it out the vault, and that'll help you get clears a lot quicker, because it's amazing how with Crota's Inn, these encounters are easy for the most part. Like, theoretically they're easy, you can explain them easily, but executing them, for whatever reason, is just tough on LFGs. And it's mind-blowing, because there were other encounters that are also just as easy that I didn't see as many people fail at executing. So I don't know if it's just my luck or not with teams that I've been getting lately in LFG in like second and third weeks. But man, it's not been clean as it should be by this point, because contest mode was, again, much harder, but I had a much easier time clearing the steals in contest mode than I have been in LFG groups. And LFG groups have been breaking up because people have been leaving after one wipe, and they're the ones causing the wipe, and they're the ones pissed off. So been a weird kind of experience, kind of like a little bit of an alternate universe feeling, like where am I at right now? But it is what it is. Hopefully this sword helps with the encounter and helps everybody kind of get into a certain pace where they're all about the same speed and not flying past each other at different varying speeds. So thanks very much for watching to the end. I'll see you guys in the next guide.